Right. So those were the project presentations. I'm very sorry about the noise and the problems and technical issues. And there will be coffee in just 5 minutes. So I'm just going to quickly go through these things. So we do have a fair few other citizen science related projects running at Aarhus University. Some of them were presented last year, like the DEMA project, the metal detector finds. Andreas Stobat, who's in charge of that, would have loved to be here today. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here. But we got funding for an extension of his existing project, and it's going to start this fall. So citizen science as cultural heritage innovator. If you want to know more about it, contact me or contact him. Living Labs is run by Maja Højer Brun. Unfortunately, she also could not be here today. She would have loved to. Again, you can find all of the links at this project listing on the website. Lyden af Hovedstaden. Somebody who's on paternity leave at the moment from Aarhus University is involved in it, but it's led by Copenhagen and the guys over there. So I don't actually know anything about it. Regreen was presented last year, so there's information about that on the website. So those were the ones at Faculty of Arts. At BSS, there's also Step Change, which was also presented last year. And, well, Jacob is also at BSS. So these are only the projects that we're not presenting today. At Health, Giv de unge ordet. Ulrik is project coordinator on that one, and Nina is also working on it. It ends this year, but has been really interesting, really cool project. And yes, I might be biased because I have been working on it. Natural sciences, lakes in spare time and time for citizen science is Christian and myself involved in it. Lakes in spare time is actually led by Southern Denmark University, but we have a part in that. Time for CS, we presented last year as well. That's an EU project and will run for another couple of years, so I'm sure we're going to be talking more about that. Technical faculty, they also could not come, but they are doing bat surveys in Mønsted Kalkgruber this year, starting. It's a 3-year project, sorry, not entirely sure. And then doing surveys on mustelids, so more dyr. So otter, badger, polecat, marten, stoat, and weasel. Again, Regreen is also, there are people from tech also involved in that one. And then as Henning was saying, vildt udbytte and vingeundersøgelsen. So those are collaborations with the hunters, where hunters actually have to report back what they've hunted, what they've shot every year. So one of them, vildt udbytte, is everything they shoot. Vingeundersøgelsen is a voluntary thing where they can send in the wings of the birds so that we can get a lot more knowledge about the birds that they shoot.
And the bat statistics goes back to 1941.
Yes.
Pretty old.
So it's one of the oldest, it is the oldest one that Aarhus University is involved in, definitely. So these are the AU Citizen Science projects that I know about. There might be other things going on out there. If you do know or hear about it, or your colleagues or something, let us know and we can add them to this list. Also projects who are no longer running, we also have them on the list. So funding, I said I was going to talk to you guys about funding. We do have a Central Denmark EU office. Some of you, I'm sure, know about it. Others might not know about it. Unfortunately, they could also not be here today. They really did try to make it work. Most of them are based in Brussels, though, so it's a little bit of a trip. Horizon Europe, they are supporting. So because they're based in Brussels, it's an EU office, they are mainly working with EU funding. So right now that means Horizon Europe funding. I'm sure many of you are aware, it's billions of euros in that funding pot. So if you have any questions in relation to Horizon Europe, contact these guys. They know absolutely everything about it, and if they don't, they can find out. So they support, Horizon Europe supports and promotes the involvement of citizens, civil society, end users in public engagement, citizen science and user-led innovation modes of research and innovation. There's a whole strategic plan, and it really is core. Public engagement is core to Horizon Europe. This is much linked to the EU's open science policy. So there are lots and lots of initiatives also in open science. And citizen science is one of the, some say, 8 pillars that fall under open science. So in Horizon Europe missions, citizen science is acknowledged to play a key role in research innovation by providing feedback on new technologies and ensuring societal uptake of disruptive solutions. And those missions, there are 5 missions, and they were actually kind of co-created with the citizens of Europe. So even in the process of defining these missions and what the money should be spent on, the EU went out and talked to the public in the EU states. And the 5 are, do I remember? Cancer, climate, resilience, smart cities, oceans and seas, and soils. Those are the 5 missions. Furthermore, the excellency sections in RIAS, so research and innovation actions, and EAS, the innovation actions, are evaluated by the quality of open science practices, including engagement of citizens. So if you're thinking you're going to go for an EU project, you have to think citizens into it. If you're going, oh my God, well, I guess you guys are not, because, you know, you're already doing it. So anyway, but it's great. It's there. You know, we are finally being recognized for doing something with the public. So I think that's great. So these are some of the examples of open topics right now that are relevant from a citizen science perspective. Student and school activities for the promotion of education on blue sustainability and the protection of marine and freshwater ecosystems. One of the ocean missions. Then there's citizen science for soil health. It doesn't get any bigger than that. I mean, citizen science in a call title. How good is that? Foster soil education across society, and enhanced citizen preparedness in the event of a disaster or crisis-related emergency. So these are some of the topics where citizen science is specifically mentioned. In lots of other calls, it might be in there as public engagement, or it might be called something else. But in many, if not most of the calls, you can get an element of citizen science into these proposals. They do have a newsletter. You do have GDPR and all of this, so you have to send an email to them if you want to subscribe to their newsletter. And it's there. And I'll share the slides afterwards. So other citizen science funding, like from within Denmark, consider funding not specifically stating citizen science in the calls. Like Alf Nova, that's open right now. Interested, I talked to the lady who is coordinating these things. They are interested in potentially funding citizen science kind of add-ons to existing projects. So if you have an already existing interesting project where you go, actually that would be really cool to have a citizen science component on it. You can come and talk to me, you can talk to them. You know, it would be great if we can start actually saying Aarhus University is also funding citizen science. Novo Nordisk, deadline is 7th of September. They have a couple of different calls like science communication and debate, funded the Giv de Unge Ordet project. They also have a natural science education and informal learning environment, so there are different ones that you can think about and tap into. Vilum or Velux funding areas youth and science. They funded the Lakes and Spare Time that Christian and I, the SDU, is leading on. Environment, ocean and seas, and different other funding areas. So look into the funding areas, and with the environment, the oceans and seas, that links completely into one of the missions in the EU. That's called oceans and seas. So see, what kind of links can you make. Augustinus Fonden, if you're in the arts especially, include cultural heritage. So they funded the Citizen Science as Cultural Heritage Innovator, the extension of the DIME project. And you can search for other funding on Research Professional AU site. So everybody who works at AU has access to this Research Professional. And you can go and you can register and you can log in, and then you can go in and search, which I think I did, and I didn't get it on there. Ah, there it is. I did that. I searched citizen science and 160 results popped up. I'm not sure how many of them would be exactly relevant and so on, but it's there, it's mentioned. All right, just last slide. Citizen science conferences and networking, a little bit about this. So AU working group, we kind of had big ideas last year that we were definitely going to work on that as part of the Time for Citizen Science project. And then it was Corona, and then we got a little bit busy organizing this little Engaging Citizen Science conference that we held in April. Thank you to those of you who were there. But now we're going to do something about it. So if you guys are interested, institutional change and anchoring of citizen science at Aarhus University. Let's try to get it more into the university in any way we possibly can. So if you're interested, talk to Christian or talk to I. If you want to set up other AU working groups, let us know. We can help facilitate. I'm facilitating lots of. I mentioned the Engaging Citizen Science Conference already. The Danish Citizen Science Network. We do have a working group on biodiversity, nature, and environment. Have been working for about a year, meeting monthly, bi-monthly, so on. It was led by SMEC at Copenhagen University, but I think somebody else might need to take that on. Other networking and conferences, for that matter, EXA, the European Citizen Science Association. We have I'm on the board of EXA. I'm involved in quite a lot of the working groups. So we have a conference coming up in Berlin in October, 5th to 8th of October. They're still open for registration. It's going to be big, 450, 500 people. And I think places are going pretty quickly because it's the biggest thing that has been here since COVID shut us all down. So everybody wants to go. Jacob, are you guys still members of EXA? Is Science at Home still members? Because if you are members, you have 3 discounted spots to go to the conference. Just a reminder. So Christian and I also joined EXA on behalf of Aarhus University. So I'll be going, Christian is going, Ulrik is going, Anna is going, so quite a few people will be going to EXA. It's great, it's fantastic. Anyway, working groups. There are lots of working groups. These are the ones that are current. If you're interested, do join. You don't actually have to be a member of EXA to join. Coffee. We need coffee, right? That's it. Thank you.